want to tell you something.
Closer.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Hi.
Hi.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Don't you ever with me and alcohol. Got it?
Oh, you got a problem with that, nerd? I'll throw a fireball in your face, because I'm a wizard.
So they were able to get him to the hospital in time.
Yes, he's in the intensive care ward at Our Lady of the Worthless Nerve.
Oh, we've discussed this. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Hey, why can't we be Universe A?
Yeah. We called it first. Besides, this place kind of feels like a bee, you know?
You have my sister. If not, would you like a margarita?
Yeah, and when I see freaks in the street, I never, ever stare at them. And yet I'm careful not to look away, see, because I want to make the freaks feel comfortable.
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
You're listening to Comic Can Coozie, your weekly podcast for all your geeky garbage, kitschy comedy, and nerdy news. I'm Cole.
And I'm Tayler.
So, how are you?
I took Alpha Brain today.
Alpha Brain?
And now I feel like an alpha!
What the hell is Alpha Brain?
I don't fucking know. It's this stupid supplement that Joe Rogan advertises. I don't know. It's supposed to make you hyper-focused and hyper... dumb and all this stuff. And
you know, if you're Joe Rogan and you want to be hyper focused, don't smoke as much pot.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's like it's so weird. Like I stopped smoking weed and I took this Alpha Brain and I focused like crazy. No, I don't know. It came with I did an online order the other day at Walmart and I picked it up and the lady came out and she says, here you go, give us a 5-star rating, blah blah blah, and she handed me this like gift bag type of thing that had a bunch
like
of
from Alpha
no
Brain or the lady from Walmart.
The Walmart. It was like a Walmart Plus thing. Like, hey, thanks for being a member, or give us a 5-star rating, and we'll give you this bag of samples or whatever.
All right.
So I said, oh, there's some Alpha Brain in here. I've seen Joe Rogan take this stuff, and so I took it, and it gave me. I don't know. It could be the placebo effect, you know, but I felt a little jittery.
Oh, okay.
You know, throughout the day. That was about, I don't know. I don't think I felt hyper focused like you said you would, but so I was curious about it. Like, okay, maybe I mean, all supplements I think are mostly bullshit, you know, but except for fiber. I'm all about the fiber. Metamucil, dude, fuck yeah. Psyllium husk, I fuck with that shit. That's awesome. And it shits me out, or I shit it out. Anyway, really good stuff. So I was curious about it, so I went and priced it out. Holy fuck. It's
super
like
expensive.
It's like $50 for 60 pills. I'm like, no, not fucking worth it. Not even. I mean, and that's what I think is fucking bullshit is
that's what I love about aspirin and Tylenol.
Yes.
They give you 200 pills for under $8.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it fucking works. Yeah. I was thinking about that today too. It's like, man, it just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think a lot of it's in people's heads, you know, with this stuff.
Yeah.
But the reviews are mixed online, so who knows? Who fucking knows?
You know what? Speaking of aspirin, you saw what happened to me yesterday.
That was so. Deanne was so concerned, and I thought it was so fucking funny.
If I were you, and you were me, and it happened to you,
yeah,
I'd have probably been like, "Are you okay?" But then, like the second you said yes, I'd have been like, ha, 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 ha.
That's exactly. Well, you're like, oh fuck,
So, apparently, I got a shitload of hornets, in my by my porch.
Yeah,
and I had Deanne, and Deanne was coming over to make Choke-Cherried jelly with me. We hope it turns into jelly, but right now it's kind of more of a syrup. Either way, it tastes good. But I haven't. I tried some before we jarred it or canned it or whatever, and it tastes good, but it's not thickening up like I want it to. So I guess it's going to be more of a syrup than a jelly. But there's large chunks of time where you're not doing anything. You're just boiling the choke cherries for like half an hour. You're boiling the mixture for after you're done boiling the choke cherries. Then you squish them down and
Juice them.
turn them into. You put sugar and citrus juice into it, and you boil that for another half an hour. Mm-hmm. So for that time, we were just hanging out in the backyard. I was letting Gunner, our rabbit, just run around, and then whenever we would come back inside, I didn't want neighborhood cats coming and getting at him. I would put this little kind of cage over the top of him. So we were going to come back inside. I went up to put the cage on him. All of a sudden, I got stung right on my Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I kind of took a jump skip kind of step. And I came back down and I was like, okay, I'm still walking fine. And about 30 seconds later, my tendon just stiffened up. My entire foot was just completely stiff. I'm like, Tayler, please go into my bathroom, get me some aspirin. I put the aspirin. I got the aspirin a little wet, and I put it directly on the bee sting, and it did make the throbbing go down, but it also made it super itchy, and I was itching my foot for the next hour. My tendon, my ankle, and my foot for the next 7 hours.
Damn.
I had such a hard time sleeping last night.
Should have got some of that Benadryl. But you know what you really should have taken?
I don't have Benadryl.
I know. You know what you should have taken? Brain Force.
Brain Force.
Or no, Alpha Brain.
Alpha Brain. But Deanne was super concerned. Tayler, you could tell, just was like,
I was laughing. It's always funny when somebody gets stung by a bee.
It's always funny when someone gets hurt and it's not you.
Yeah. You know what? It reminds me of that movie, My Girl 2. No, My Girl.
My Girl 1.
My Girl. Sorry, My Girl 1.
Yeah, that comedy where just laughing my ass off at Macaulay Culkin.
He's like, the bees. The bees, not the bees. They got him.
The original, not the bees.
That's what he gets for fucking up those two burglars. It's a little shit.
It was karma.
Yeah, that's what you get. You can't do that, man.
Can't beat up the wet bandits and not expect to be fucked up by the angry bees.
I want to see that mashup movie where Harry and Marv come in, they just start laughing at the funeral. That's what you get.
Home Alone, My Girl edition.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, so we went to a show this week. Friday night we went to Space Monkey Mafia at Rhythm Records.
All right. I've heard of them. Are they pretty good?
If you like ska, yes. Those guys are...
Okay, so they might be good. It just wouldn't be my cup of tea.
No. Well, sure. Those guys, though, I mean, the amount of talent in that band...
Is Richard in that one?
No, they're from Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The amount of talent in that band just blows me the fuck away every single time.
Now,
every member of that band is just incredible. The guitar player is just... that guy can shred.
Now, not being a huge ska fan,
yeah,
or even like a very current, punk aficionado or whatever. Okay. They must play around town because I've heard of this band more than a couple of times.
Yeah, so
you've mentioned them before, yes?
Yeah, I definitely want to get them on the show sometime. But yeah, they're just they've hit Laughing Sun a bunch.
Okay.
They've played at Laughing Sun a bunch. It's kind of like their home when they come here, but I don't know if Laughing Sun was booked this weekend and they were just coming through. They wanted a spot to play, but it was kind of fun because they did kind of a torn down set, if you will, because I guess their trombone player was ill, so he was
tromboner.
The tromboner was ill, so he wasn't there. So it was just two saxophones, and the guitar player had no pedals.
Oh,
he usually does. He usually have a pedal board, but he would just play the stripped down guitar situation. Holy crap, man! It's like that guy was doing stuff with the guitar that you'd think he was plugged into a pedal board, because he just had these wicked effects, man. Just fucking incredible. The bass player's great. The drummer is really good. And of course the singers, holy shit, man. It is cool because they all have their own songs that they sing. And from their new album, I was excited to hear this one particular song that they did. But then they were like, "Hey, you guys want to hear anything?" You guys want to hear anything? And they're like, yeah. Well. So they played a couple of, stupid like 90s ska songs, like by the Money Buddy Boston. So that was kind of fucking cool. But then at the end, holy shit, that the kids there were being. It was an all ages show, so the kids were like, "Yeah, play one more song, do one more." And of course, Space Monkey Mafia is super respectful because where the Rhythm Records is now is in the basement of the Anderson Building on Main Street. So it's like
where it's always been.
No. They used to be down a little ways.
Oh, okay.
But now it's in the basement of the Anderson Building.
Is that the one with the fucking the comic book store and the antique store?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then at the top, it's apartments and stuff. So it was around 10 o'clock.
Have you ever been in any of those apartments?
I've been to the one way upstairs.
I've been in one of them. I can't remember where in the building it was. It was so much bigger than I had imagined it would.
Oh
be.
yeah. So they were super respectful. They're like, "Hey, can we do one more and whatever?" So they fucking ended the show with Superman by
The one,
Goldfinger.
If you go crazy now, will you stop?
No.
I can't.
Tony Hawk, man. Oh, okay. You would know it if you heard it. So they played that. Of course, it was fucking hilarious. And everybody thought they were done with their encore, if you want to call it that. But then they started playing fucking Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing. It was so stupid, but awesome,
Yeah.
And then Dante, the lead singer of this band, is just doing this ballad, right? He's just singing. He's fucking incredible. Just singing his heart out. And then all of a sudden, where the window faces is out towards Main Street. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 fireworks start going off.
Yeah, what was that about? The Larks? I thought you said they were done this year.
Nope. Saturday was their last game.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's fireworks go off, and they have these big windows down there in the shop, and you could see the fireworks perfectly, and all the bands playing. And I'm like, it's Dante singing. I'm like, Dante, turn around! You got to see this. So the whole band turns around. They're just playing to this fireworks show. It was just stupid, but awesome. It was really cool. Good way to wrap up the night.
That was the one night where I could have gotten out of work somewhat early.
Oh, okay.
And at one point, I says to the guy who's kind of taking over for me, I was like, "Look, I'm still here. You're pretty much done with everything. Like, why? I'm going to have to wait for this to finish up, Why don't you just take over and I'll close anyway?" I was like, "Fuck it. There's no use for us both to be here." And he's like, "All right, cool." Right after that, my shit got finished up. He's like, never mind. I'll close. I was like, awesome. So as I'm pulling out of the parking lot and leaving work, all those fireworks start going off behind me. I was like, nice. It's a celebration for me.
Yeah, it was. They always do a fucking awesome show. Really give it up for those guys. But yeah, it was a cool weekend, man. And then we got a wild hair up our ass on Saturday to start ripping out the drop ceiling in the basement.
Deanne, excuse me. When you left to go, because Deanne was going to come over and we were going to make the Choke-Cherried syrup.
Yeah.
And then you came over as well. And I was like, cool. Now I get to hang out with two people instead of just one person. Yeah. But then I realized we're probably going to need more jars than what Deanne has. She had 2 jars. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to need more than this. And we wound up needing like 4.5. Mm-hmm. And I asked you, could you go get some jars, stop at Walmart or Target or whatever, go get me some canning jars. And you did. And as you were gone, she was telling me about that. But you know how your house is built all fucked up, like
yes,
at like weird angles and stuff?
Yeah.
So she was trying to tell me about the angles of the beams and stuff and how they were all weird.
Yeah.
And I couldn't envision it at first. And like, she probably thought I was annoyed with what she was. And she got with what she was saying, and finally she got through. I was like, okay, wait, you got to take me through this all over again. I am so confused because she was talking about where this wall is and that wall, and
yeah, just
your house is so cool, but it's built so crazily. So
imagine,
I needed her to explain this all over to me again.
So when you get to that corner by the I think what she was trying to say.
Oh, I get what she was saying
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It took like 2 times of her explaining it because
Yeah, it is weird.
it is one of the odder looking houses, but it's so cool because of the oddities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we decided to tear out the drop ceiling, and of course, it's not like that nice. Not nice. I mean, drop ceilings are drop ceilings, but you know, like how some drop ceilings are almost made out of. It's almost like corkboard, or it's almost like
and yours is just this cheap fucking foam with
fiberglass, dude. Oh, we were itchy.
Oh, wow.
Fucking had to take
I thought it was foam with cheap plastic over
No,
the
it's
top of
fucking
it.
fiberglass, dude. And that was so fucking itchy when
I'll
we
bet.
were done with that. So yeah, we fucking tore that out, and you know what? We went to after we were done with that, we decided to hit up Buffalo Wings and Rings because it had been a while since we'd been there.
She also told me about this.
Yeah. I don't know what she said about it.
She enjoyed it, and she said you got the blue cheeseburger.
Love it.
And
always
I
get
told
that.
her, I told her the only 2 things I will get there is the buffalo cheeseburger,
or wings.
buffalo blue cheeseburger, or a few different appetizers.
Oh, yeah.
But there's nothing else on their menu.
Not even the wings?
I might get the wings, but
Sure.
I might get a combination of a couple of appetizers.
Sure.
But there's nothing on that menu that makes me want to go all the way up north, pay too much money for okay food. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense.
There's
sense.
nothing that stands out there except for their blue cheeseburger because they have the best blue cheese dressing in the world.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's fucking great.
I actually met some the people from the corporate office.
Oh, really?
They just they had gotten together and they were all wearing Buffalo Wings and Rings shit. And I said, "Hey, do you guys work at Buffalo Wings and Rings?" And they're like, "Well, not here. We work for the corporate office. We're here kind of like seeing what's going on."
Did they say where the corporate office is?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The regional corporate office
Sure.
or whatever. And I said, "You guys are missing out on so much money by not bottling that blue cheese and selling it in stores." And they're like, "Well, you can come to the restaurant and get a whole bunch of it to go." It's like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to add an extra stop on my grocery shopping.
Here's the deal, Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what elevates that dressing above any other dressing you're going to have. It's in-house. It's made in-house that day.
And
in any place, any restaurant that makes their sauces from scratch, it's going to be a much better sauce.
There are so many restaurants that make blue cheese dressing and ranch dressing from scratch.
Yeah.
And I will contend they're all better than Kraft.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they're all better than Kraft, but there's some that you don't need to talk about because they're not that great.
I'll say
but
this.
This one is the best blue cheese dressing I've ever had in my life. It's so thick that you can put a celery stick in there and snap that celery stick in half.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Oh, it's great. Another place, I know you're not a big fan of ranch.
No, but tell me where.
But Craftcade has a really good ranch.
Oh, do they?
And it was funny. We had gone out to, and that was that first night that I met Emily,
Okay.
our British friend, and she was saying,
Your nemesis.
my nemesis,
Yes.
as she is. I'll have to tell her to listen to this one episode. But anyway, she was just talking about how she despised ranch dressing.
Uh-huh.
I said, yeah, like I understand why somebody wouldn't like it if what you've had is Kraft or Hidden Valley or whatever. I said, try this. And she took a bite of it. She's like, "Oh wow, this is actually pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah." Anywhere you go,
I'm not really a fan of it at all, but
anywhere you go.
I get like immediately if someone's like, "Well, I don't like this kind, but I'll eat it at this place."
Yeah.
Because the especially the blue cheese dressing is the thing that Kraft does the worst. The best one is that blue glass bottle for blue cheese that they don't actually sell on the shelves. You got to go to the refrigerator area.
Yep.
That's so good.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime you have, or big chunks of blue cheese, man.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Love that. I'll tell you another thing. The waitress, she was really, really good. She was only on her 3rd day, but she was doing great. Because usually when I go there, it's fucking shit service, and that's why
I always get someone who's been there for like a couple of years and they just don't want to be there. Like,
exactly.
You walk in and they're already looking at you like, fuck you, why are you ruining my day?
But this gal, 3rd day on the job, she crushed it. She did a great job. And that's funny because the lady that dropped off our menus says, "Oh, I'm your server tonight. drops off the menus, doesn't take a drink order, just walks away from us. And then this other gal walked up. She said, "Hey, what's going on? Have you been taken care of yet?" He said, "I don't know, maybe." And then she said, "Well, I'll take care of you." Took her order, but she's tried to be a fucking thief.
Oh, the other one, the first one? Oh,
the second one. That was really good. So she sat down, or she brought us her food, and she handed everything up, and she said, "Is there anything else for you?" And I looked behind her. I'm like, "Yeah, you left my blue cheese dressing on the other table there." She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "That stuff's really good. You can't just leave that. Off my plate." She's like, "Oh, I've been told." So I think she was trying to steal
your blue cheese,
my blue cheese, so she could try it. Since he's only the third day on the job, I could totally see that happen.
Oh, I'll bet you $10 she'd go into the cooks and ask for a sample just to see what everyone's talking about, and they'd give it to her.
But then I'm excited because I want to do they set Wings and Rings. I know you haven't been there in a while, but that is like the weirdest fucking restaurant in the world. When they first opened, okay, it was very much like this sports bar. Mm-hmm. Fucking TVs everywhere.
Yeah. Do they not have that anymore?
Well, hold on. So they have all these TVs everywhere, and it's cool because it's almost set up like a big scoreboard type of thing. That's how it was originally set up. I think it still might be in the center of the area. A year later, I walk in there and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? Like space aliens?" They had all these fucking games.
Yeah.
Like they had pinball, which I thought was cool, but they also had claw machines and like ticket type of games and stuff. Like, this is fucking weird. We go there on Saturday, and now they've blocked off this whole section. Basically eliminated an entire section of seating.
Probably a good thing, since that place is never full.
Right, and they've got seating all over the place. But then they put up these two golf simulators.
All right.
I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? Like, this is weird and whatever, but I'm excited. I want to go there and try it with some buddies. But it was so funny. But the kid, I gotta tell you this, it was so funny. So I asked the kid, said, "Oh, that's pretty cool." He said, "How much?" I said, "How much is it?" He's like, "Well," he pulls up this this pricing sheet. He's like, "Well, it's this price. He's like, "It really depends on what manager's working. They might just give it to you for free." I'm like, "Well, cool. Let me know when that manager's working so I can do it for free." Like, fucking schmuck of a kid just giving shit away.
The thing is you're like, it started out as a sports place, and then it kind of it still is. But my thing is, if you're named Buffalo Wings and Rings,
yeah,
it's so much like Buffalo Wild. What's that one?
Wings, yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
It's so much like that. It's, in my opinion, it's not, the food is somewhat slightly better than, the wings at Buffalo Wild Wings are good, but that's the only thing.
Yeah, everything else there can suck my ass.
But the service at Buffalo Wild Wings is much better than I've ever seen at Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Sure.
If you're going to be having a similar name, don't have that similar theme, because Buffalo Wild Wings is going to do so much better than you. I mean, you're both doing the same shit, but you're not doing it that well.
Right.
And in Bismarck, when you're further out of the way and the other place has two locations, yeah, you're not gonna compete with them.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, sorry to get on this tangent of this restaurant, but another thing I noticed, which I thought was kind of funny, is that the buffalo or the boneless wings were almost identically priced to regular chicken wings, mm-hmm. which kind of surprised me. I thought the chicken wings for sure would be at least $2 to $3, maybe even $4 more.
At this point, chicken wings with the bone in are so fucking expensive.
Oh yeah,
and I would think that they would cost a lot more too.
Yeah, but no, they were. I think $1 more.
Yeah, you're trying. If you're running a place like that, you're not trying to make money on your wings. You're trying to make money on your beer, your sodas, all the other items on your menu.
For sure.
But you're not trying to make money on the actual wings, because the drummies are still kind of similarly priced to what they were before the pandemic. But the flats, those ones are
so weird.
They cost a lot more at this moment. It's like, and that doesn't make sense, because it's not like a chicken has more drummies than it has flats. You know what I mean? Like, they got the same amount. It's fucking dumb.
So yeah, I don't understand it, man. I long for the day when chicken wings, you can go in, pay $15 on a Thursday,
And get all of them that you want.
all of them you can eat.
Yeah.
But I think that was pre-COVID. That was in the before times.
Before 4 times.
The before 4 times.
So yeah, I've been watching Gunner this past week.
Yeah.
Because
Still?
Shay and Natalie are in Alaska. So I'm watching the rabbit. I'm kind of watering the garden. I'm watering the lawn and stuff. Man, the other night that rabbit was on the struggle bus. Just an idiot. So I took him out of his cage and I brought him up to the area of the lawn where there's a lot of grass, you know. He likes to sit in the cool grass and stuff. And I had him out there for over an hour. You know, I was just watching YouTube videos, drinking beer, and when the rabbit would come by, I'd pet him. You know, that's what I do with him sometimes. And so he ran around like a chicken with his head cut off for the first 10 minutes. And he comes near me, and I pet him behind the ears a couple of times, and then he just takes off running. You know how the garage is... There's an overhang that is just barely off of the ground. He runs straight at it and just bam, head first in the gutters. You just hear thunk, right? And I've like started laughing. I was like, "Oh, dummy! I'll bet you're not going to do that again." About 10 minutes later, he does it one more time. Just like, what the fuck, man? Like, why are you running head first into a wall?
Yeah.
You know, or into the gutter? You know, like did it 2 times, and then he's just like, I'm done. I'm not running around anymore. He just went and laid in the grass He went and laid in the grass for about 55 minutes and just didn't move.
Probably concussed.
I guess. He got CTE. CT bunny.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's been fun, but man, he is shedding fur.
Well, good.
I've been
brushing. You gotta cool off, dude.
I've been brushing fur off of him. First night I did that, there was so much fur that I had a second rabbit sitting next to the first one.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
You can make a little hat for the winter for Gunner.
You know,
out of his own hair.
Whenever I go in there, I always wait till after midnight. I throw a bunch of water on him, but I never get a second. You know, he's not like gremlins. They don't get more, you know. now I am.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you want to take a break?
Sure. All right. So we were talking about on the break about guys who like dress up nicely.
Yeah.
And then they have something that ruins their... And girls do this too, but it's a bigger problem with the guys.
For sure.
So tell me about what you were kind of talking about.
Oh, this guy that I know. He, I saw him the other day.
What are you chewing on?
Nothing.
Swallow it.
That's what she said. So there's this guy the other day that I know. And he was wearing this really cool purple blazer.
Okay.
And I just seen him in passing, and I'm like, oh, cool. Nice. So today I saw him again. And he was looking really sharp. He had the purple blazer. He had the slim cut jeans. He had, looked like he just got a haircut. Had this Elton John shirt on. I'm like, oh, nice. He's got this look going on, right? Mm-hmm. And then I looked down at his fucking shoes.
Yeah.
And they were just shabby.
Yeah.
And they didn't match his outfit. Mm-hmm. I know this is a weird topic, but I was critiquing men's fashion. But it's like, what the fuck, dude? A nice pair of sneakers would look great with that. A nice pair of dress shoes even, or a nice pair of loafers. But no, just these shabby... Like maybe he spent all his money on the jacket. And he didn't have money for shoes. I don't know. It blew me away.
There's 2 things that'll ruin it, and it's either the shoes or the belt. You got a shitty shoes or you got a shitty belt. It's like, man, if you just gone that one extra step,
one or the other.
Like
man.
it's like taking your dishes to the kitchen,
yeah,
but leaving them 10 feet away from the sink. You know, like, it's like you got so close. Why didn't you just finish the job?
Just fucking do it. Yeah, it's just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've consumed a lot of media this week, Cole.
Oh, okay.
Whether that's in the form of audiobook. Just finished an audiobook this week. called "I Wish My Mom Was Dead."
Oh,
Or no,
I heard about this.
I'm glad my mom died or something.
Yeah, that's some girl from some Nickelodeon show.
Jeanette McCurdy. That's her
Okay.
name. She was on the show iCarly and a few other things down the road. But yeah,
McCurdy, is she a country singer too?
she did a little, like, she talks about that in the book a little bit. She was kind of, I mean, she didn't really do a lot, but there was some stuff that she had done. Yeah,
I think I heard a couple of her songs when I was dating Mality.
could be.
Because she listened to a lot of different country stuff. So
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was a really good read. And I love listening to audiobooks, but I especially love listening to especially memoirs or autobiographical stuff when the author is reading the book.
okay.
Love that, and because it just adds another level to everything that's going on. It's just not some random person. So it was a really great read. Highly recommend it. Yeah, she was a Mormon too, which was really kind of interesting to learn about. So,
Well, that explains why she was getting abused so much because,
well, it was interesting though, because I guess this one Dan Snyder, she never called him out by name, and I'm guessing it was for legal issues. But everybody knew, who she was describing in this book, and I was like, oh God, like, was she abused by this person? But fortunately, no, she wasn't really. I mean, this guy was a piece of shit and a fucking asshole, but from her experience, fortunately, from what she had written about, it wasn't like that. So, I mean, that was good. But yeah, it was a really good read, really good book. Then What We Do in the Shadows came out with the new season.
Yeah, you're talking about this last week, I think.
Dude. And so we went balls deep into it. Now we're into the new season. It's just such a great show. Just love that show.
Yeah, the last episode of Westworld came out Sunday night, yesterday.
Yeah.
So after you left, I watched that.
Nice.
But that's one of those shows where the first two seasons were so amazingly good, and then the third season almost felt like because there's so many weird jumps in time, and you don't know what you're looking at, and because so many of these so many of these characters are robots and they can die and come back, you might get this surprise like reappearance of a character that's been gone.
Sure.
And you almost totally forgotten about them, and then they're back after, like, and it's a shock almost, or like or even you don't know if, because they're identical to people, you don't know if a character is a real human being or an artificial intelligence.
Sure.
And so the third season was a vastly different show than the first two seasons.
Still good
It was a
though?
very different show with the same characters. And I myself really enjoyed it, but a lot of people were just like, this show is starting to suck now, and
Okay.
I don't get it. And the fourth one, the first half of the season, people were kind of down on it. Like, how did this show get so bad, right? The second half, it started kind of getting back to the roots of the show.
Sure.
And this last episode kind of almost took things almost full circle.
Okay.
And if they never make another episode again, it's almost the perfect ending. But it sounds like they're going to make one more season.
Okay.
And either way, I don't care, because if they don't, I'm kind of like, wow, they ended that so perfectly.
I like
and
when
if they
series do that.
do, I'm really excited to see where it goes when they jump back to the feelings of the first season.
Yeah.
Either way, I was really happy with the way but I know there's people online that are bitching, like, it's not the show that it used to be, but like, it's kind of nice when things evolve,
And that's kind of, that's how I
and
felt
change.
about this latest season of Stranger Things, and I'm wondering if a lot of it had to do with COVID, because there was like
I believe so.
like start stop, and they just kind of paused for a bit, then they started back up again. But it seemed like it was very disjointed. They had all these separate stories kind of going on at the same time, and then they kind of converged.
And that is
kind
very
of at
much
the end.
and that is very much how Westworld has been the entire time, is they're juggling a bunch of different stories at the same time. And once you think one's been dropped, all of a sudden that becomes super, all of a sudden they bring it back, and it becomes super important to what all the other shit that's been happening.
Nice. I'm gonna check this one out. I think I will.
And then the only other thing I really watched this week was called The Day Shift.
The Day Shift.
It's got Jamie Foxx. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's got Dave Franco. Dave Franco and Jamie Foxx. And it's a vampire movie. And it was awesome. The only complaint I had is that Snoop Dogg's in it. Because fuck Snoop Dogg. Like,
Not a fan.
he used to be a rapper.
Now what is he?
Now he thinks he's a comedian, but he's not that funny. He thinks he's an actor, but he's not great at that. He thinks he's a tough guy, but like, when you have other people killing people for you, how tough are you?
Wait. What's Martha Stewart? He thinks he's a homemaker?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he keeps on landing these roles where he's like the toughest guy or the coolest guy in the room. It's like, dude, you're like fucking 65.
Yeah.
You look like you look like the fucking crypt keeper with dreads.
Here's a hot take, Cole. I never thought Snoop Dogg was cool.
Yeah.
Never in my life was I like, that guy's kind of cool. No, I never did.
That one, that first album he put out, like I always thought his best songs were always on other people's albums.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
he had all those guest appearances on Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Oh yeah,
and those, and when he came back for the Chronic 2000 or whatever, those were good too. But like his actual albums,
okay.
You know,
the one rapper that I thought was really cool as a kid, it was, what is that guy's name?
Snow.
No.
Vanilla Ice.
No, he's like, God dang, what the heck?
I don't know, dude.
Spending all our Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, there you go.
Just kidding. No, I like Coolio. He was pretty cool. But no, I liked. It wasn't really music on my radar as a kid, but I liked Coolio because he did the theme song for Keenan and Kel.
It's like, why would you get Snoop Dogg when you could get Ice Cube? You know what I mean?
Fucking A, dude.
That's my thing.
Exactly. Oh my god.
I don't know. I liked the movie though, The Day Shift. It was a
check it
good
out.
movie. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like movies that are fun, man. Cole, speaking of fashion, we have to go back. I want to hear ever since Cole one time came over and I said, Cole, what do you think of my new shoes? And you said they looked like a Power Rangers race car. I've always valued your opinion on my shoes. So I got to ask you, Cole.
I've seen these and I've been keeping my mouth shut. I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but
if
go
ahead.
You're asking, take one off and just kind of leave it over there.
Take it off?
Your shoe doesn't know what it's doing.
What do you mean?
It's halfway between like trying to decide whether it wants to be in an office all day or if it wants to be at a punk rock show.
Oh, okay.
And then
perfect.
This half of the shoe is made for men. But on top of this is an orthopedic shoe for old women. Like
I like it.
I don't know.
I'll take it. It's
a black leather shoe.
I like it. I'll take it.
With like braided shit on the top of it. It really does look like an old woman's shoe. What's it called?
Tuck.
Tuck?
Yeah, like you wipe your ass with the tucks.
It should be called suck.
No, but you'll like my other ones. They're exactly the same, except they're purple and they're suede.
So you basically robbed Prince's fucking estate.
Prince wishes he could wear these kind of shoes, but he can't because he's dead.
That's why I said robbed his estate. I don't know, dude. They're very much you.
Perfect. That's all that matters.
That's not a compliment.
But here's the deal. Well, hey, I'll take it. No, but there's this person at work. They bogarted my style because I wear Vans, and that's all I would wear. And then all of a sudden, that's what they're wearing.
That's not a style. It's just saying, oh, I wear Vans so no one else can. It's my style.
But it's the amount. It's like, I don't know. They never wore Vans before I came to work. Or before they started knowing what I was wearing. I'm like, okay. Bogarting some style. I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck. But now I got these. Life's good now. Okay. So here we go. Orthopedic shoes. I like it.
We got a couple of dead people this week.
Yeah. Let let's
get the bad one. Let's get the one that you're gonna talk all the shit on.
No, I'm not. I refuse to talk shit on anyone. Go ahead, Cole.
Anne Heche died at 53. You were talking shit last week.
I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize at that point she was basically brain dead.
Yeah.
Because when I had heard about it, of course, like the reports, something crazy happens, okay, and then all the fucking reports come out, and this happened. It's like, okay, everybody just calm your tits.
You were saying about how she was
like I heard she got up
driving at 100 miles an hour.
Yes, that's true.
And she was drunk.
But what's not true is that I heard she tried to flee the scene, so she got up and walked away. But then, it started to set in, like, how the fuck did somebody walk away from a crash like that? Didn't sound like it.
Here's the thing: is I can't really name anything she's ever been in. The most famous, so this actress Anne Heche, the most famous she ever was when she was dating Ellen.
Yeah.
And then she broke up with Ellen, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's a bitch," right? But here was the thing that what I really remember about that was people said she had like mental problems, like very big mental problems, like personality disorders and stuff.
Yeah.
So like when I heard about the crash, that was one of those things I was like, okay, yeah, that's awful. You know, she's driving 100 miles an hour through a residential and stuff, and she's drunk, and I think they found narcotics in her system.
Something like
that, yeah. When there's something wrong with your brain, you do as much as you can to medicate yourself or try to keep this under control. And I think, you know, she's 53 years old. She'd probably been trying to deal with this shit, plus being in the public eye, you know, and not being the most likable person in the public eye. She probably just hung on as long as she could and then just like fucking fell overboard. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah.
I don't.
It's always a sad situation, but here's my thought. Like, just don't put other people's lives and livelihoods at risk. I mean, I understand shit's tough. I get that, and you've done all that you can. But like, fuck off with driving down the street at that rate of speed, man. You're gonna kill somebody, and fortunately, she didn't. You know, fortunately, she just ruined somebody's house, I guess, is the silver lining in all this. But it's unfortunate. But fuck her.
Yeah.
Still, she can suck a dick.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, who's the other one?
Judo Gene LaBelle.
Judo Gene LaBelle.
So this guy's died at 89. He was a 10th degree red belt in judo. His students included Chuck Norris, Roddy Piper, Ronda Rousey, and then just a whole list of like lesser known actors.
Wait. So what you're saying is,
let me keep a whole list of other actors, professional wrestlers, MMA fighters.
Okay, there we go. I was wondering because everyone that you mentioned kind of sucked. So
his name was Judo Gene LaBelle.
Yeah.
Trained Ronda Rousey. She won an Olympic medal in judo.
Oh, I didn't know she was an Olympic medalist.
And
wow.
she was for quite a long time the women's champion in the UFC. She has legit skills.
It's her face.
A big reason why she's such a huge fan of Roddy Piper is because he was trained by Judo Gene LaBelle.
Wow.
And Chuck, he also he never was Bruce Lee wasn't one of his students.
Okay.
But he met Bruce Lee and he introduced Bruce Lee, not introduced, but like helped him along with the grappling aspect. And then Bruce Lee would give him pointers on the striking aspects of martial arts.
Okay.
He also did have a kind of one of the earliest examples of an MMA fight before it was called mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Like he fought a boxer who knew wrestling and stuff, and they kind of just said, "Oh, he's a boxer." They didn't tell him he knew the wrestling stuff.
But can I say
What's
something
that?
To be fair? The first MMA fight ever was actually in Rocky V. Thunder Lips versus
That was
Rocky.
that was after Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki.
Oh, okay.
That was quite a long time afterward. But and you're thinking Rocky III with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But so he worked on over 1,000 movies and TV shows as a stunt coordinator.
Wow.
and sometimes as a minor character and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the thing he's most famous for is he's actually the guy who choked out Steven Seagal and made him shit himself. Have you ever heard this story?
I don't think so, but that's awesome.
So Steven Seagal was known for being really, really rough with stuntmen.
Oh,
Like,
what a fucker.
Taking liberties, like hitting him harder than he should, even though he knows it's a fake fight, in a movie. Just doing things to them that they can't do anything back because he's the star of the movie.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Why would you do... Okay.
So
What a fucker.
So Judo Gene LaBelle is at he's older at this point. It's the mid 90s. He died at 89, so he must have been in his upper 50s, 60s, and he's on the set of Out for Justice, and Steven Seagal was talking all this big shit like, oh yeah, I'm a tough guy, no one could beat me, no one could choke me out. And one of the other stunt actors who knew Gene LaBelle's reputation said, well, I'll bet Gene could. And Steven got very offended by this and went over and started like talking shit and saying, you couldn't choke me out. You couldn't choke me out.
You know what's awesome is
What's
that stunt man that did that knew exactly what the fuck
Knew exactly what he was doing. And apparently this took place in front of like 30 other stuntmen.
They're like, fuck yeah, go after
cast
this
and
guy.
crew members. So he comes over, tells Gene LaBelle, you couldn't choke me out. So he lets Gene put a rear naked choke on him. Like lets him like get it kind of locked up. And he's like on 3 go. And he's like,
Seagal's going to try to get out of this.
So Gene, of course, locks it in. Like I said, he was a red belt in judo. That's like a 10th degree black belt. Of course, puts it on, puts him to sleep. Like, and then Steven wakes up and gets pissed. And then they kind of go at it. And Gene locks him up again. And puts him to sleep. And while he's asleep, he lost control of his bowels. He shit himself. That's the story that he's super famous for.
That is fucking awesome.
If you go look at, there's multiple versions of the story, but they all kind of wind up the same.
Yeah.
They all there's different people who saw this, or they all have different versions, but they all wind up the same. He fell asleep and he shit. So, but my favorite version was some reporter was asking about it on YouTube.
Asking Steven?
No, asking Gene
Judo?
LaBelle about it on YouTube, but he didn't want to come right out and tell the story.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we went at it, and then I guess he got a little tired and he fell asleep. And I guess he must have had too much to eat that day because, he lost control of his bowels. He never came out and said, yeah, I made him shit.
Oh, that's got to be a feather in the hat, though, for that, man. And God dang it. I hope that's on his fucking tombstone. The man that made Steven Seagal shitted himself. Fucking A, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a big story that was kind of going around with the Hollywood stuntman community for a long time.
I'm glad you ended that. I think we're gonna end this now, Cole. But I'm glad you ended it on a nice, happy,
on a nice brown note.
On a nice brown note. Man, for Comic Can Coozie, I'm Tayler.
I'm Cole.